everybody, it's Safi and Marco, Dish Out on the Movies. Although today, it seems like I say this a lot lately, we are doing a review of the third episode of Dark Wind. And that is the Tony Hillerman series, or it's based on his books,
This is episode 3.
Episode
And
3, AMC.
It's called Kai. No, it's called K.
It's called K.
K.
And Marco just looked it up and he'll explain it because it is connected to the episode, which is nice. It's just that when we first saw that, I'm like, uh-oh, what is that and how do we say it?
Yeah.
Because I don't remember anybody saying that word during the episode.
It reminds me of what like an X-Files episode would be called. So far the titles have been pretty bad, honestly. Like they're pretty pretty weird. Like they don't really fit the episodes a lot.
Well, this one has more of a connection to the episode, I would say, than maybe the other titles.
Apparently it's see, I thought I was like, is this like a part of a word and this is just like
that's
some
what I was thinking.
Like pretentious thing? And then I looked up and it's like, no, it's a term, and I guess you say ka. So, Safi, do you have a lot of ka?
No.
You have a lot of ka?
Okay, anyway.
It means that there's a feeling of kinship, a feeling of connectedness to your roots. And so, to me, it symbolizes, or it means that Jim Chi, he's feeling connected to Emanuelita and his roots. And so he's starting to change a little bit. He's starting to appreciate the people and surrounding area.
Now, I also think the little Native American girl, I don't remember her name, who's pregnant and is kind of, she's been with an abusive husband. I have no idea about her growing up. She's feeling more connected too because what?
Look at the raccoon, Safi. On top of that. Do you see it?
On top of the tree?
No, that old cottage.
Oh.
Oh, never mind. It crawled back. We just saw a raccoon, and it was crawling on top of this old place, and it looked like like a bear. It looked like a bear cub or something, and so I thought that was pretty funny.
It's probably the guy that comes over here and gets free food.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think it might refer to her too because this little niece of Jim Leaporn and his wife.
Joe Leaporn,
Leaporn.
Safi, don't ever do that again because.
And, okay, Marco.
You gotta look like a fan. You're the biggest fan, right? So you wouldn't want to do that. Like, do you think it'd be good if I said?
Anyway, it's a coming of age ceremony their little niece was going to do, and the girl who's staying with them, because they invited her to stay there to, so she could have a safe pregnancy away from an abusive husband. She's having the ceremony, and the girl said she never had one, and she got to participate, and she starts wanting to participate more. They have to grind corn and all kinds of things.
And then
so that would be another person in there that could refer to.
And then they chase each other around like it's the Sound of Music.
No, it's this thing. They're running. Don't ask me what the running thing, but they put on their special clothes, very colorful shirts, a belt, a long skirt. They have their hair fixed. I think they're wearing certain shoes, and they run.
It was pretty funny to me just because I can feel like it's like a happiness before the bad stuff happens. And so like I kind of feel like it's like foreshadowing to maybe like the pregnant girl is going to have to run away from her abuser, and then he's
Well,
gonna kill her or something.
that's what I was
So I was
afraid
kind
of.
of laughing at that because of that.
He had to go, and they had one of the mysteries. It starts out the whole series. Is there's a murder. I guess there's now multiple murders, and they've been processed by a crime processing lab, and I guess the mortuary or whatever. I just don't know all their. I'm sorry. I don't know all their customs. I don't know if they would have allowed that or not, but they were still already processed.
Well, why should we be expected to if we're just outside viewers who are watching a TV show?
Well, I don't know. I'm just trying to. It helps me just think about the whole episode to think about it. But anyway, Joe Leaphorn goes and picks the bodies up, and so he can take them back, and they can bury them. And why am I talking about that? Well, I was thinking he had to go out of town to do this, to pick up the bodies, and I was scared that the abusive husband, I'm still waiting for him to come there and terrorize everybody in the house, and Joe Leaphorn's not going to be there. And so I was afraid that he was going to come there.
Well,
and that's really, I really was thinking about that, but it
I
didn't
don't
happen.
think so. I never think that would happen this episode.
But I'd like to know if there's, apparently the Mormon family's being held hostage in this pit. It's kind of like a Silence of the Lambs pit, which is weird. And it's that bad guy.
It reminds me more of The Hills Have Eyes.
I don't know, but is that bad guy that's carrying this very sharp knife, which looks like a gutting knife or something for hunting? Is he her husband? That's what I was wondering.
You've been wondering that for an episode.
I know.
Well, I thought this episode. Let's just review the episode,
Okay.
Safi. Let's not do a dissection. I thought this episode was pretty good. I thought that it was much better. Well, not much better, but it was slightly better than the first two. It was a lot better structured and paced. When I say that, I mean that everything flows smoothly. In the first two episodes, there's a lot of fragmentation where you feel like the story is just pieces of information that they're shoving at you. And in this third episode, K, it feels like a nice simple story that they're telling, and you understand for the most part everything that's going on, and all the characters are pretty good, except for Joe Leaphorn, who once again, he's not really in this episode that much either, but once again, it's almost like you're supposed to watch the show after having read the books. Because otherwise, why would you have any sort of feeling or connection to this character at all? He has no personality. He's like a zombie from The Walking Dead. And he needs some sort of cool moments. As I said before, if you look at anything, if you look at any, name a detective other than Dirty Harry. Just name
Columbo?
No, one that I've seen, Safi.
Oh, wow.
One that I've seen.
Who you've seen?
That I've seen.
Well, he did have a great connection and lots of moments.
So you were connected
What
to
about
him this
Monk?
episode? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Whoa, Safi. Monk. Oh! In the first episode, in the first episode, the whole pilot, I don't want to spoil it for Safi, but he has an extremely cool moment where basically the whole pilot, he's screwing up and he's terrible, and you think, how the hell could this be like the main character of a series? And then at the very end of the episode, he has a really cool moment, and it's probably one of the top 10 moments in the show's history. And so the fact that he has that cool moment where he does something at the end with an object that I won't say what it is, that was a really standout highlight moment. And that's part of why you like the characters, because they have these standout moments. He has other moments where they're not like things that are cool, but moments where they're funny. Like there's a moment at a funeral where he does something with bubble gum, and there's another moment or two. And all these moments for his character help make his character really likable. Whereas you have this Joe Leaporn character, and he just walks around silently doing things and just being quiet. And it's cool that he's quiet, but it'd be cool if he had some good moments that the audience could identify to him with. Because I don't feel any connection at all to him. I feel more connection to his deputies.
Well, that's kind of, I think he was more of Tony Hillerman's main character, and he's dead.
So?
And Ann Hillerman, I think,
so
is
what?
more connected to the younger deputies.
Well, so what?
Well,
I want to show.
They're basing all their stuff on what she does.
Hopefully not, because if I want to watch a show based on these books, I want it to start out and for a long time be centered around him, and with them in the background, and then later on they can come in the foreground.
That's how it was, actually.
Because why would I want to identify with them more than him?
Well, that's what it seems like. You even admitted that.
I know, and he's supposed to be the main character, and he's trash. He's complete trash, even though he's a really good actor. So, Safi, do you agree with that? Because you haven't really been admitting to that.
Well, I'm thinking about he is very quiet, and he does all of this. He's like a director, but he's in the background. And, in the books, before he gets almost murdered, he's more in the front, but he's never loud or demanding or telling people what to do in a really loud way. He's just like very, for instance, in the story, he and his deputy Chi go to this place. I don't exactly know what it is, but there's a lot of people working, and they're all doing individual jobs with their hands, digging and whatever else. I'm just not sure what it is. And there's this boy there. I don't know, he's maybe in his early 20s, whatever. And he has gotten in trouble before. And he sees them and he runs. So Jim Chi, who is young, chases him and gets him down. And they don't fight or anything. And anyway, he hires him, Joe Leaporn, but I didn't even see this at first. I don't even know if they showed this. Oh, Lord. But he ends up hiring him.
They kind of hint at it, like they imply it. I think they say do you want to do a job for us or something like that?
And get paid. And what it entailed was, remember that lake where they think the chopper went down, which it did because they showed it in the first episode. He's supposed to find, they can't find it. And, well, they want him, because he's young, to go and, dive under there and look for it. And
will you dive in this gasoline, this fuel water?
Remember, Jim Chi got the water tested, and it is full of fuel.
I was surprised they didn't give him any sort of protection at all. They're just
well, I think they have it.
Get in there, boy.
They don't have anything.
Get in there and retrieve us our helicopter now.
No, but I don't think they have any sophisticated equipment.
This
is like a backwater
They didn't
place.
give him anything. They just say, get in there.
Yeah.
It won't hurt a little bit when you feel pain in your head for the next million years.
So anyway, that first day, just to tell you, he doesn't ever find anything. He doesn't even see anything. And so, but he goes back because he's determined to do this. And he does end up finding a nice helmet in a bag. It doesn't even look like it's been in the lake. It's something you wear if you're flying a helicopter.
Yeah,
A safety helmet.
They were very clean. And,
I know, perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen, I don't know, it was just really weird because this has been sitting in the water for a while.
That was just a minor flaw.
Yeah, I know. I just, I was looking like, wow, are they reselling that or something? Or did they just pick that up at the thrift shop? I don't know. It's just perfect. Or just go buy it new.
You liked the episode?
I liked it because I thought it was more, it gave more of a story. It was more complete, and we got to find out about the Mormon family. I thought they were dead. I thought the guy had murdered them. So I was glad he hadn't, but that doesn't mean he won't. He's always swinging his knife around and threatening people. There was possible witchcraft. Marco could talk about that, which they do believe in witches and bad spirits. That's why they have these cleansing ceremonies, to get rid of the bad spirits. And, well, it's not the only reason they have them. They have multiple ceremonies. And then, what else did they have? They had Jim Chi reconnecting with his past and getting together with Manuelito. It looks like they may be a couple, and in the books, they are. They do end up being a couple. Not right at first.
Yeah.
Just like at the beginning of this.
It's fun.
But it's nice. So
it's not the greatest thing of the year, but it's a good episode.
Well, I just feel like this is an area of the country that is it can be so dry, or it can get a lot of rain and flood everything. But these people live out it's almost like a desert. There's nothing growing. They have no water. They have no electricity. People have wood stoves.
They do have lots of
rainwater barrels.
They have lots of Taco Bell because that woman is back, the one who blew Taco Bell gas in Emanuelito's face. And is it Alito or Alita?
No, it's Alito.
Okay. And
which is weird.
She's back, and she's doing some witchcraft. And I don't know what she does. She causes, she does something, and it ends up making a spider magically appear and crawl on Emanuelito and then bite her.
That was not Emanuelito.
It wasn't?
I thought that was her and somebody else. There was a woman who was
I thought it was Emanuelito.
No, there was a woman who was wearing a dark wrap, and it was outside, of course.
I could have
And she had this thing, I don't know what it was, and she buried it in this pile, and then she she lit something on fire, and then blew on it, then you see the spider crawling up this woman's neck. I thought it was this bad, bitchy woman.
Safi, did that kind of thing happen in the books? Were people able to summon things from the ground?
No, I never saw that, but they did believe in it. They believed in, they call them shapeshifters, which you've heard at the X-Files.
Well, it's cool that they're adding that stuff, but I just hope that it's treated the right way, because so far it hasn't been. Because they're just doing all these things without any explanation. It's not creepy, it's not scary, it's just kind of mysterious. And so they need to treat it in a different way, where they make it scary, they make it or they at least make it understandable, because it was a weird sequence.
Well, what really wasn't even positive that the two things were connected, that she got that spider, but right after you see this woman, I didn't know who the woman was, she was bent down.
That was the Taco Bell gas woman.
The woman on the ground with the dark wrap?
Yeah, that was the Taco Bell gas woman.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't know who it was.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't recognize her because of this clothing she wore, which
Safi.
is odd. And then next moment you see this other lady, which I thought was the bad girl who
I
was,
thought it was
being bitchy to Manuelito, and who just, she knows about the Mormon family. She's the one that does the paintings.
Oh yeah, her. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. And she was the one, because she was outside the store, I believe, that sells the paintings. And she had just visited the bad guy with the knife, and then the Mormon people were there, and she knows they're there. And then, of course, the preacher, who is a bad person, who's in on this.
And of course, the
scheme.
preacher is an actor from Breaking Bad, and so I don't think I mentioned it last episode, even though I wanted to, because Safi just keeps on interrupting so she can over-explain the whole episode. But I like that actor pretty much, and something that I like is that there's like a cast of villains being built up. Like, it's not just one or two villains. It feels like there's like 4 or 5. Because there's also Dwight from The Office is in this episode, and he wants the painting himself, and so he knows about the money in the painting, and he's another villain. And so you have him, you have the preacher, you have that bitchy woman, you have the
bad guy with the knife.
The guy who looks kind of like Rambo or something with the headband.
And I don't think I thought he was Native American, but I'm not even sure about that now.
So they're like a cast of villains, and they're like an ensemble, which is pretty cool, but they don't really feel connected at all. Like they just stand around like cardboard cutouts. And it's like they don't really, like, you know when you see like a group of villains, they have a connection to each other. They don't really connect to each other very well at this point, because they're still like holding us in the dark from everything. So we're just like, it's like trickle down storytelling. Remember trickle down economics?
Yeah, how could I forget?
Well,
they still believe in that.
Well, this is like trickle down storytelling, where you're just like giving a little fucking trickle of fucking story and character. And it's like, okay, this is a good episode. I give it a B or a B plus. If I'm being generous. I thought it was entertaining, it was fun, and it was a nice break from watching other types of stuff. And that's the other fun thing too, is that like it's something to look forward to, because it's so different, and so every Sunday you have something to look forward to. Whereas a lot of these other things, they're not something to look forward to. Like, I don't look forward to watching MasterChef on Wednesday at all. No thanks. But, this show is something to look forward to.
Well, I just think it's a good way to call attention to the area and the people who live there, because they are part of our country.
Well, it would be good if they made it a better show.
Well, maybe they will. They seem to be improving every episode, so...
Yeah.
It's like unfolding.
And they will be getting a second season.
Yes, Marco looked that up.
Which is pretty cool.
It is cool. And I just hope that they can improve as much as possible, because the people out there, they need to be respected for who they are. And I try to lend help to them every Christmas. I donate money to
Safi,
them for food baskets.
Safi, don't virtue signal.
I don't know what virtue signal means,
Don't
but I
do
just
that.
try to do it with a bit of help. Because my mom did. I'm kind of following her in her tradition. So, anyway, I enjoyed the episode. I'll give it a B plus, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't want to give it. I don't want to give it an A.
No way is it an A episode.
No, I was going to give it an A minus, but I give it a B plus, and because I enjoyed it, and I still think that they do jumps. Like Jim Chi and Manuelito were really antagonistic towards each other, and she said something too, which I couldn't understand. I'm probably going to have to watch the episode again, see if some of these things are made just a little bit clearer. She said she was something she said a word. And
she's antagonistic because he's an FBI agent.
Well, does she know that? Does anybody know that but
I
Joe Leaphorn?
think she might know it.
Well, it's not like she might not sense it, which that could be too. But anyway, I'm just glad that it seems like his reconnection with his past, it was kind of like a sudden thing.
Yeah.
It was just like when he announced, or not he announced, Joe Leaphorn, a guest, that he was an FBI agent. That was like a boom. That was like being hit in the back of your car with another car. It was like a little tap. Boom.
It was like a firecracker or something.
And I just like, and so, I mean, all these little, and it's...
They just happen, and they don't really happen in a natural way.
No, it's not subtle.
It's
either.
fine with me because I enjoy him more when he's like this. It feels a lot more natural to him as an actor, and it's better for the character because that's what the character is supposed to be. And, you know, if Safi saw this thing where Tony's daughter said that she didn't like it either,
Which I can't imagine she would have liked it.
But then she talked to the actor playing Jim Chi, and he said exactly what I predicted, which is his arc is he's going to become like Jim Chi in the books over time. And it's like, yeah, that's pretty cliche. And you know, the problem with that is that I was telling Safi, just think about if you were watching Psych season 1, and they did a remake of Psych, and in the first season, Gus is nothing like he is, and he becomes that way over the course of the season, like he's supposed to be. And it's like, who the fuck would like that? Like, that's just stupid. Like, that's a stupid idea. It's like a cliche contrived drama.
And they don't need that. There's plenty of stuff to talk about.
They have like 1 million books, and they're making up new shit that's
true.
Counterproductive.
Yeah. And I'm glad because the FBI agent thing, I mean, it gets better over time, the relationship with them, but they still have a mistrust of each other. And that guy, the one who's been there forever, the FBI agent who's been stationed there for a long time, he's a jerk and a jackass. And he's unpleasant to watch. And then for Jim Chi to be associated with him, and it didn't look like he was begrudgingly. It looked like he was perfectly fine with it. So I'm just glad that could be, hopefully, more in Jim Chi controlled and not be so FBI. You know, I just hope it all changes the way he's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's good that he's going to become the character at some point.
That he's supposed to be. Well, it'll be interesting to see in the books. He wants to be a medicine person because people in his family were, but that doesn't sound like it's going to happen because, you know, all he mentions is his mom, and I think she's dead. So he doesn't mention any other family. But like I said, and they have been talking about this a little bit, but no, they haven't really explained it. I don't know how they're going to explain it, but about the clans, about being, what's your clan? And because they're all in a clan, and some of them are in the same
They're
clan.
not in the KKK, they're in their own clans.
This is a special family group. They're in different family groups, but in the beginning they're all connected or something.
They're not in the KKK, but they do have a lot of K.
Yeah, so we'll just have to see. But I like the fact that they're finally fleshing it out, and it's smoother, and it's more interesting, and Joe Leaphorn is, hopefully he gets a little bit more,
well, you have
however Marco talks about, a little bit more moments.
Razzle dazzle.
Quote moments. He's not really a
Mojo.
He's not a razzle dazzle character though, not at all.
pizzazz,
Never.
sparkle,
So
shine.
I don't know how that's going to work. But
I don't know. You just get something. Like you're telling me in the books he's the Walking Dead?
He's just the calm person. He figures everything out. He's real quiet about it. And he has that map, which they haven't shown yet. And I mean, they mention it in every single book. He has a map in his office, by his desk, behind his desk, that has the reservation on it, and certain things happen. He puts colored pins, stick pins, push pins, whatever they are, in the map. And so let's say there's been a series of murders, and so he gives them blue tipped pins.
Well, maybe
and
after
he maps that out on the map.
Maybe after the next person or two is killed, they'll show him putting the things on the map.
That is mentioned in every single book.
Even hers? Even hers?
Well, no, he's not. He's retired.
But it doesn't matter. Don't they use that, or are they just gonna not use?
No,
okay.
I don't think so. I don't. I'm not positive, but
well,
not like when the other books were.
Then they probably won't show it because, as you said, it feels like
her stuff.
They're like sticking with her stories and sort of like, since I don't know.
Well, she's alive, and they're placing more of an emphasis. Well, obviously they didn't start off with Chi and Manuelito together. They despised each other. And so now they're getting together. Well, that is her books. Her books, where they're really, really together.
If that map isn't ever in this show, are you going to give it an F?
No, it's disappointing, but he's dead.
Isn't that kind of
doesn't work?
Isn't that kind of stupid though, that his character wouldn't be using something like that? Would be like if Batman doesn't have the Batmobile or something.
Well, what it is like when you watch these TV shows that, let's say they have 20 missing girls, you'll see up on the wall they have all pictures of all 20 girls, and they might have like something underneath where it says where they were found missing, or where they're from, or what they do, or all three. And so that'll be all up on like a big bulletin board. So same kind of principle, where you're putting everything out there so you can look at it in totality. And so you can kind of like look at an overall perspective. It helps you think about it more and maybe come up with more solutions or a solution. So that's what it is. It's the same kind of thing. It's just this reservation is huge, so it's massive.
What should people do?
Well, I hope that you like this, and if you do, press the like button and subscribe if you would like to. We welcome all new subscribers, and I'll try to speak up. I hear that sometimes people can't understand me, and during the first episode, I was so disappointed by Jim Chi being connected to the FBI that I just didn't even know what to say. I was in shock.
You acted like it was good, though.
No, I didn't.
You thought the episode was good, and you didn't even really complain about Joe.
No, I'm not going to complain about him because he's as he is in the book.
But he's not, because in the book you get to hear his inner thoughts, and then the show you don't.
I don't know about that either.
You said in the book you can't hear his inner thoughts?
You just see him do.
Well, he's doing nothing in the show.
And asking questions, and then so you know what he's...
What did he do this episode? He bought some stuff for his wife?
I don't know who he bought the planter for.
He bought the things for someone? Like, what did he even do? He didn't even do anything this episode. His deputies did everything. That fucking teenager did everything. The Taco Bell woman did everything. Like, he just, like, walked around just like he did last episode. Like, Safi, what is up with this main character?
I don't know, but I'm not in charge, so... I know even in the Ann Hillerman books, he's limited. He's been recovering. I'm telling you, in the books between him and her, he was shot to almost where he died. So he's retired now in her books, but he still helps out on cases, kind of like freelancing, and like he knows people too who they might need help from, and he can connect with them, and they know him. But he needs a few moments, like you said, but he's not like this razzle dazzle Clint Eastwood character, no. And they're not like that anyway.
Well, Safi, he needs something. His deputies have something. He doesn't.
I know. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you because I'm not in charge. But I am enjoying it. I sure as heck like it better than the first episode. Okay?
Well, yeah.
So anyway, if you want to subscribe, we welcome new subscribers. We welcome your comments, your opinions about this show or others. We are still reviewing. I jumped in on there, and the latest MasterChef Junior is over. The offer is over. And so we'll continue to do movies and also series shows that we might enjoy, or I think that maybe others might enjoy listening to a review of. So, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Okay.
Wait. Oops.